Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's about that time of year where everybody's New Year's resolution starts to kind of fade off. You drive by the gyms that were once so crowded and the parking lot is kind of empty. The diets and new eating habits and waking up early and all the things that we say we're going to do, all these different resolutions that we say or that we make, that we say are going to be permanent changes in our lives, they kind of start falling off here about the end of the second month of the year. And I'm guilty of it too. The thing that I use that has worked for me, the thing that I've taught my clients, it's worked for them, is to stop looking at the goal for a second when you're looking for inspiration or self-discipline. I don't like the word motivation because it's too short term, but when we're talking about discipline, self-discipline, a good way to maintain discipline is to think about 6 months ago or a year ago or whenever the last time you decided to make this change, and you tried to make the change and then you fell off, and it's what we all do. And all this time went by and then you said, you know what, first of the year I'm going to do it again. But think about back then, that person, who you were back then when you were working out, or that person back then when you had your diet all locked in. Think about who you were back then when you were reading, when you were writing every day, when you were journaling, or whatever it is. And then think about what that person would say to you now if they knew you were quitting or giving up on or not being disciplined on this thing that you committed to doing a couple of months ago. Think of that person, what they would feel, how disappointed they would be. And when you think about it like that, when you think about a year ago, you were working out hard, you were going to the gym every day, you were running, you were doing something, but you were making good progress, you were making great gains. Don't you owe it to that person to work out today? Don't you owe it to that person from 6 months, a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago to maintain a proper diet, to continue to work on yourself, to continue to work on your mindset? Don't you owe it to that person? And that person is begging you to continue what they started. That person's you. That person is begging you. That person, you, back then, is begging you right now to continue what you started. Of course you don't always feel like it. That's the single most important day to stay disciplined with the change you're trying to make, is the day you don't feel like it. January 2nd, it's easy to do what you're supposed to do. It's easy. Motivation's high. You're inspired. It's a new year, new me, all this stuff that people say. The most important day to continue and stay disciplined is the day you don't want to. So if you can get through the day you don't want to, well, the easy days are coming. The high motivation days are coming. The fully inspired days are coming. Those are easy days, but you owe it to yourself from the past that was putting in all that work. You owe it to that person to continue today. Don't let your past self down. Your past self had the same goal your current self has. And that thing that you were reaching for, that thing that you were striving for, it's still there. It still exists. It's still yours to be had. You still deserve it. But put the work in, not in chasing that goal, but in respecting and honoring the former you that had the idea to chase it in the first place. So take your eyes off the goal for a second and look in the mirror, in the rear view mirror. Look at yourself. What would your past self say to your current self right now? Would they be proud or would they be disappointed? And if they'd be disappointed, then do whatever it takes to make them proud. The end. Stick with it.